Hi there, and thanks for tuning into this week's edition of your Wheel and Anchor weekly newsletter. This week I'm coming to you from Paphos, the third largest city on the west coast of Cyprus, one of the destinations for our upcoming LiveAway trip this coming March. I've been traveling all around Cyprus over the last week. It's been a fascinating experience. My first time visiting this country. And whenever I venture out into a new destination like this, I'm always finding something surprising, interesting, intriguing, something that I didn't expect, and that has certainly been the case here in Cyprus, and this is why I come out to check things out. And in normal years, I would be doing these so-called inspection trips well before we release the programs, but of course with COVID and all of the stuff we've been through over the last 18 months, that's not been possible. And so when we put together these trips like our LiveAways in Cyprus and Madeira, I've had to rely on information from other sources. And so when I come here, sometimes what I expect is not always what is the reality on the ground. And as a result, for our Cyprus LiveAway, much as we have done already for our Madeira LiveAway in February, we're going to be changing the hotels, modifying the program so that our members can have the best possible experience. If you would like to find out more about that, certainly if you're booked on the trip, you're going to get an update from me in the next few days once we settle all of the arrangements. And otherwise, we'll be having an update on our Cyprus LiveAway program next Friday. That's the 19th of November at our usual time, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So tune in for that. On the topic of Madeira, I'm delighted that we have finally finalized arrangements for our new accommodations there. The last details are coming together, and you'll find attached the revised brochure, the updated Madeira LiveAway brochure for this coming February. I'm really excited about it, particularly because I was able to nail down a spectacular seafront hotel, which will be one of two that we'll have on offer. And you can find out more details by reviewing the brochure. And those of you who are already booked on our Madeira LiveAway, you'll have already gotten a video update from me giving some details about those changes, why they've been made, and how they affect the trip. But all in all, I'm now very excited about our LiveAway to Madeira. And there's also a link to the webinar replay where I talked about my own experience there week before last. So if you haven't made any plans for February, you might want to consider joining us in Madeira. Finally, I have a little request, a favor to ask of our members. In the last 10 days or so, we found that the number of inquiries and bookings for our programs has increased dramatically. I think that's probably partly due to the fact that the travel advisories have been lifted, and it's prompted a lot of people to say, time to book travel. And so we still have a small skeleton team here at Wheel and Anchor. As you know, this has been a tremendous roller coaster ride for us here over the last year and a half. And so, we've been going through the ebbs and the flows, and we're now in a period where we simply have a tremendous amount on our plates. Paula has been working nonstop to stay on top of all the inquiries. So my request is, if you have put in a request, if you haven't heard back right away, please, we will get back to you as soon as we can. As I say, we are a small team, and we're sort of battling to try to even out these ups and downs as we progress through the rest of this pandemic. It's of course, I've been on the road here, madly rushing around, visiting hotels all over Europe, revising plans. This is the difference when you are traveling and part of a community like Wheel and Anchor, is that you're dealing with the people who are doing all the work. I'm doing all the planning, coordination with the help of my small team, and we're going to deliver an excellent experience in all cases. But as I say, we are just a little bit strapped for time in the moment, and so we are processing the inquiries and requests in order of when the trips are happening. So if you're booked on Madeira, Cyprus, those trips happening in the next couple of months, obviously we need to settle all those arrangements, and so we'll be dealing with that first. And if you're booked later on, we will get to you, but the one thing I can assure you is we will never make any deposit suddenly non-refundable from one day to the next without telling you. We won't cancel your reservation if we haven't been able to reach you to collect a final payment. None of those things are going to happen. So you are in good hands. And again, we just ask for a little bit of indulgence. So other things upcoming, just to close off for this week, our webinar on our Egypt and the Holy Land program, Egypt, Israel, and Jordan, that's happening in February of 2023. That's coming up next week on Thursday. So you can find out all about that trip. That was our last trip before the pandemic. We had a marvelous time, so we're looking forward to bringing that back to you. Of course, if you're in a hurry to get to Egypt, if you're anxious, we now have only one cabin left on our special Dahabia program. That's the unique boat that only has 6 cabins on it in sailing down the Nile. That's happening in March. And so we've only got one cabin left. So if you'd like to join us for that program, it is definitely a go. Then please drop us a mail, give us a call. Next week, I'll be in Beirut, Lebanon, seeing what's going on there. You've probably read about it in the news. I'll be giving you a first-hand report. And on that note, take care. Catch up to you again next week.